What's up? What is happening, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Justice, and today, girl, we're gonna be chopping it up, okay? So we're gonna get right on into it. If you have seen the title of this video, then you're gonna know that today we're talking about why I'm no longer dating men. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, just because I say I'm no longer dating men, that doesn't mean that I'm switching sides, okay? I'm not a certified rug muncher, as my friend would call it. But no, I have just decided that I am no longer dating. For right now, anyway, I'm just not interested. And this kind of leads on from my previous video, if you haven't watched it. I basically just did a vlog, but I had described an incident that had happened on that day, which I'll discuss in a bit more detail for you guys, as I said I would. But we're just going to be talking about the kind of dating scene at the minute, my past experiences dating, and just why I'm not with it no more. So obviously my dating experiences have kind of changed quite dramatically, I would say, since moving to Thailand, as the demographic is obviously different. So when I was in London, I feel like I would mostly date black men. Okay, not mostly, I would date black men, and that's it. But since coming over here to Thailand, obviously I've been exposed to different cultures, different people, and my preferences have for sure, you know, changed. I'm more open-minded, things like that. So I have been experiencing different cultures, different people, and seeing what that's like, you know. And unfortunately, I have to say, since I have been out here, all of the experiences that I have had with black men have been negative. And it's so sad to say, but it's just my truth, and I'm sharing it with you guys. So whether these have been romantic experiences or platonic experiences, I feel like all of them have been negative. And I'm a bit confused as to why this is. Like, I don't understand it. I love a black king, okay? I love a black man, but for some reason out here, the men that I have been, I don't even want to say attracting, because, okay, maybe I have been attracting some trash, but the guys that I have been encountering, the black men that I have encountered, have just been trash, and we're gonna get into it. So the incident that happened, I had gone to get some food from this Nigerian restaurant, right, that I had seen online. So went to get my food, and there were about 6 men in the restaurant when I walked in to get my food. And you already know, I feel like a lone female going into a shop with 6, 7 African men, you already know, like, they're going to be making comments, they're going to be just doing whatever, kikiing between themselves, whatever. So that in itself was a bit of an uncomfortable experience, but I'm just like, I just want my pounded yam, run me the fufu, and let me get out of here. So it was kind of okay, you know, small conversation, got my food, left. When I left, it was raining real heavy, real hard. So I walked a little bit down the street and stood under a shelter while I kind of checked the direction I needed to go, if I was gonna get a taxi, whatever. Someone from the restaurant came out of the restaurant and followed me. So this guy's now standing next to me underneath the shelter trying to make conversation. I'm like, you know, keeping it cute, keeping it sweet, you know, I'm a nice girl, I'm not disrespectful. I don't think there's any reason to be disrespectful unnecessarily, and that's just not my character. So I can make conversation, but I made it very clear, very crystal clear, that I was not interested in anything. And I said this while I was in the shop, you know. They asked me if I was married. I said today, sir, I'm married. Yeah, I'm married, thank you, goodbye. I made it very clear that I'm not interested in that. Like, don't even go there. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, I understand, you know, everybody is useful for something, right? You know, it's good to just have relationships with people, cool. So I thought, all right, cool, we can have this little kiki while I'm ordering my taxi or whatever. At some point in our brief conversation, he asked me how old I was, and for whatever reason, I feel like Nigerian men love to lie about their age. So I asked him how old he was, because I knew whatever I said, he was just gonna add 2 years on and go with it. So I asked him how old he was. He said 28. I looked at him in the eyes. I said, 28? Are you sure? Do you mean 38? Because there's no way you're 2 years older than me, but 28, you're sure, sir? Are you 100%? He looked me dead in my eyes and told me, yeah, I'm 28, I'm gonna be 29 in November, I'm 28. I said, okay, what year were you born in? And this is what really did it for me. Like, you don't know me from nowhere and you're just lying completely unprovoked, because I've already told you I'm not interested. So why do you need to lie about your age? He looks me in my eyes and says, I'm born in 1992. Now, he doesn't know this at the time, but I have a sister who is 28. And I know that she is not born in 1992. So I say to him, oh, okay, interesting, cool. There's no way that you're 28 and you can be born in 92, okay? If you were 28, you would be born in 95 or 94. He's trying to go back and forth with me saying, no, I'm 28, 29, I'm 28, 29, I'm 29, I'm 29. I'm like, okay. So even if you're 29, you still could not be born in 1992. So let's just, why are we doing this? Why are we lying? He stuck with it, you know, he said, I'm 29, I'm 29, 30, I'm 29, 30. And he just, you know, he wasn't taking back his story. He wasn't taking accountability. And for me, that's my cue to cut, because there's no reason. You've showed me your character at this point. You've showed me who you are. So I'm not gonna pretend that I'm blind, that I can't see, I'm visually impaired. No, sweetheart, you're a liar. For no reason. So I say, cool, you know, well, it's been nice speaking to you, I'm gonna be on my way. I go to leave. This man grabs my hand and he's not letting me leave. I say to him, let go of my hand. He's still holding it. Bear in mind, like, I'm putting myself away. He's holding onto me real tight. Okay. I tell him again, let go of my hand. He doesn't listen. I say with, you know, more authority, more assertiveness, let go of my hand. He lets go. Cool. I thought, okay, I'm in the clear. Let me skedaddle my way out of here. He proceeds to follow me, you guys, and harass me for like 20 minutes. For like 20 minutes. Bear in mind, like, there's people around. I'm getting obviously irritated because this guy is following me. So I'm getting more and more kind of dramatic and loud, you know, saying bye, goodbye, trying to make him feel uncomfortable so that he will leave me alone. I've already said it's not it, like, be gone. Why are you following me? Do you think that following me is gonna make me give you my number after this whole situation and encounter? You must be tapped, you must be crazy. I'm doing this, I'm saying bye, bye, waving goodbye to him, and like, I'm looking around at the people around me and like, no one's interfering, like, no one's helping, which really made me quite sad. But again, I'm kind of like, maybe they don't understand English, or maybe they think like we're a couple and we're just having like a dispute, we're just bickering and, you know, it's actually okay. But it wasn't okay. So I'm trying to walk off from this guy. He's just following me. There's a tuk-tuk next to me. I jump in the tuk-tuk. I'm telling the driver like, go, go. And the guy is still there holding on to the side of the tuk-tuk, trying to prevent us from going. And again, I don't know if the driver maybe didn't understand the situation, or he thought like, oh, this is obviously her boyfriend, like they've obviously just had a little argument or something. But he wasn't going. He was driving at like literally 2 miles per hour. And I was just so frustrated at this point, because it's like, clearly I'm uncomfortable, like clearly I am not happy. It seems like no one around is kind of taking this seriously, or, you know, understanding what's happening. So that was super frustrating. But basically in the end, I got out of the tuk-tuk and I told the guy, you know, real aggressively, you're starting to pee me off, okay, you need to go right now. And eventually he went, cool. But I was just so shocked that something like this would happen to me here in Thailand, because this is kind of regular stuff in England, or in London, but in Thailand, I just didn't expect it. And again, it leads on to the experiences that I've had with black men over here. They have all been negative, whether that's like, I've gone out for a meal with someone and they think it's okay to touch my bum. And it's like, why? I've not done anything to make you feel like this is appropriate. I'm not flirting with you. I've not, you know, said anything dirty or sexual or anything like that. So why do you think it's okay to do these things without my permission? Anyway, those are a few of my experiences and just, you know, a bit more insight into what happened from my last video. But honestly, I'm so surprised that after all of these experiences, and I'm sure you guys have had similar experiences as well, whether you're guys or girls, I just feel like I'm really surprised that I don't have the attitude of, I hate men, they're all trash, they need to get in the bin, they're not worthy of my time or my space, I hate them. Like, I feel like it would be so easy for me to have that attitude, but I don't. I know not everybody has those same intentions or those behaviors. I know there are obviously good people out there along with the bad, so I don't feel like it's good to walk around with that attitude inside of your heart, because you're just going to block your blessings. When you meet new people, you're going to go in with the, I don't know, anticipation of them acting that way, and they could be, you know, a really, really nice person, and you're just gonna block your blessings. So I try not to hold on to these situations, but learn from them. I also wanted to touch on kind of the trends that I'm seeing nowadays in the dating communities, and I'm just so disappointed. Like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like roles have reversed. Like, women are becoming men, men are becoming women, in the sense of like their energies and stuff. And I just want to touch on it a little bit and discuss with you guys in the comments. Something that I've been seeing a lot recently is the discussion that women's standards are too high, and in some cases I completely agree. For example, I saw a video that was trending the other day where this girl went out for her birthday with a bunch of her friends, and she expected her boyfriend to pay for everybody. And I feel like something like that is a little bit of, you know, an unrealistic expectation, because if you've gone out to dinner with 10 of your friends, how are you expecting your partner or your counterpart, whether they're male or female, whatever, but in this situation we're talking about men and women, I think that's absolutely insane to expect them to pay for everybody's bill. Like, this is your man in your relationship. If anything, he can be responsible for you if he decides to be, and you should be appreciative of that. But expecting him to pay for everybody that you've invited is crazy to me. That is an unrealistic expectation, in my opinion. If that's a standard that you have, cool. You know, that's up to you, that's on you, and that's something that you should discuss with your man before you go to this event or this celebration, so that he knows what he's in for. And if he accepts that, then cool. Great. I'm so happy for you guys. Another example is, you know, when women expect their boyfriends to, I don't know, buy them a house or buy them a car, or just things that are just way super elaborate gestures and stuff. Like, maybe once in a while, if you've been in a long-term relationship and you know that you guys have built together to the level where this is something that maybe they could afford, or I don't know, but I think just off the bat expecting these things is fucking crazy. Like, it's just ridiculous. So in those senses, yes, some women do have crazy high unrealistic expectations. However, I feel like this is not the majority. I feel like maybe in somewhere like America, this is becoming more and more popular, but for women in general, I feel like this is not the standard that we have. The standards that we have that you guys are saying are too high are basic things like, I want someone with emotional intelligence and emotional availability. Like, I need you to give me the things that I need to make me feel secure in this relationship. That is not an unrealistic expectation. I need you to make time for me so that, you know, we have quality time, not just we're laying in the bed together on our iPhones. That's not quality time. I need you to listen to me when I have a problem, or help me find a solution when I'm expressing something to you. Like, these are not unrealistic expectations. I expect you to be faithful and not cheat. That's not an unrealistic expectation. Just common things that make up a healthy relationship are not being met, I feel like, in today's dating world. And I feel like the reasons for that is a whole nother conversation. You know, people's upbringing, their childhood, what they've seen a healthy relationship to look like. That's a whole nother conversation that we can get into another day. But to piggyback off of that point, I've also seen certain comments on videos where women are expressing their standards, and you've got people in the comments saying, oh, well, she doesn't even look that good. Like, how can she have these expectations and she's not even fine? You guys are crazy. Like, I don't know what is happening in this world. For you to be basing a woman's expectations, right, her values and stuff, off of her looks is wild. And it really just shows like how much you guys are projecting and how insecure you yourself are. Because why does someone's standards, these basic standards of, I want my man to show out for me, or I want my man to support me in XYZ, why does that have to be correlated to how someone looks on the outside? That's crazy. I really think nowadays people have come so fixated on materialism, and people's outwards appearances, that this is why relationships are failing nowadays, because everybody's worried about the wrong things. People aren't caring about the content of someone's character or, you know, their values, their morals. It's all about image. Everything is about image nowadays. And I really, really do think social media has a huge role to play in this, in perpetuating these ideas. And it's really, really toxic, to just be completely honest. Like, it's super toxic. Another topic that I'm seeing being discussed a lot, and something that I feel like I kind of struggle with, is the hyper independence and masculinity of women nowadays. And this one, I feel like, is so kind of deep rooted, like, on why this is happening and why women are becoming so kind of independent and masculine. I do think nowadays a lot of women have this kind of need to show men that they are seeing, talking to, dating, that they are dispensable, right? That we can do good by ourselves, that we do not need a man, we simply want a man, and we can provide for ourselves without men. And again, like I said, this is something that I definitely struggle with, because I am an independent babe. Like, I live by myself in a different country. I do for myself. I don't depend on anyone. Okay. And I do see this translating into my dating life. You know, I'll go on a date with a guy and I might just be feeling like, I don't want you to feel like I need you, like I'm gonna pay for this meal because I can and because I've got it, and I want you to know that I've got it and you're not a necessity to me. But I feel like that's not always a good thing. I feel like sometimes women need to know when to rein in that masculinity and just sit in their femininity, and to allow the man to be the leader, or, you know, he needs to have the masculine energy. And like I said, I think there are a lot of reasons why this has happened, but I think the main one is just, I feel like it's super common for men to cheat, and obviously women cheat as well. In this whole video, I'm talking about men and women and my phrasing and everything. I'm not saying everybody, like, come on, be for real. I'm not saying everybody, I'm not painting everybody with the same cloth. I just don't want to keep clarifying this. So again, I feel like the standard of relationships nowadays, a lot of men cheat, a lot of men, you know, make up for their cheating with money, a lot of men attract women with their money. And I feel like all of these actions create the wrong foundation to build a relationship off of. I do feel like it stems from men and men's actions, because I feel like men traditionally are the leaders, right? They are the leaders in the relationship, in the household, you know, they're the providers, the breadwinners, right? So I think in a lot of relationships, when you have been shown something time and time and time again, so whether that's cheating or dishonesty or disrespect, obviously women are going to get sick of these behaviors. So eventually you're obviously just going to start to be like, right, I actually don't need you. I can actually do these things for myself. I'm actually okay by myself without you. This is really where this hyper masculinity has stemmed from. Women becoming sick of these behaviors and, you know, this treatment. So we're just like, you know what? F it. I don't need you. I can do for myself. What do you look like having the same behaviors again and again and again and expecting different? That's insanity, right? And I'm not trying to blame men, but I feel like it really does stem from the actions of our leaders, which are the men in our communities. If you run around getting multiple women pregnant and having multiple baby moms and disrespecting your women, how can you expect them to accept these behaviors and not become hyper masculine and not become completely self-sufficient? Like, being with you has brought them nothing but sadness, negativity, stress. So it's just this kind of cycle that I think is happening, where a woman gets hurt, she becomes a bit more masculine, and she goes into her next relationship, and now she's got this masculine energy that might cause some issues in the relationship. Something else goes wrong, the woman becomes even more masculine, and then it just goes on and on and on. And I feel like that's really what is happening nowadays in dating. I watched a really, really good podcast the other day. They were basically discussing this point and saying that men have a responsibility to correct each other within their communities. So if a man is, you know, known as a cheater, he's constantly doing his family wrong, it is the men that he's around, it's their responsibility to identify that and try and provide, you know, education or enlightenment to that guy for him to do better. And I feel like that is something that has been lost a lot in the black community, especially in London. I feel like guys don't hold each other accountable and often overlook each other's negative actions. With this whole femininity, masculinity topic, I don't think that women particularly enjoy being masculine. Like, of course, you know, I love myself being independent. I love being able to do things for myself, but I don't necessarily love having to be masculine. I actually love being in my feminine energy, and I feel like it's the actions of, you know, the outside world and people that we encounter that shape us to be more masculine, to have to take on this masculine energy. For example, the situation that happened to me the other day, of course, in that situation I can't just be in my feminine and be like, oh haha, you know, no, it's okay, leave me alone, like haha, it's cute. No, that's not gonna work. Of course, I have to tap into my masculine side and be more assertive and aggressive. In a situation like that, it's a matter of my safety. So, of course, I can't just be this little helpless woman. I think the experiences of the outside world have pushed women to be more masculine. I don't think truly women enjoy being masculine. We want to have a man in our lives that is the dominant person, is the leader, can, you know, provide for us, make us feel, you know, soft and delicate and feminine. Like, for me personally, I would love to cook for my man and make him breakfast and, you know, be his peace, but that doesn't just happen overnight. You have to be, the man really does have to be the leader and has to allow the woman to feel safe enough and vulnerable enough to bring that side out of her. Thinking about that, I feel like there's probably only 1 or 2 people that I've dated where I felt that I can truly just sit in my feminine energy and not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about the plans, what we're doing for the day, not have to worry about splitting the bill if we go out to eat. Like, just really being in my feminine energy and just being, you know, just being free, just not having to worry about anything. And experiencing that has really showed me that that is what I want in a relationship going forward. I don't want to have to be the one to make the plans all the time. I don't want to have to be the one to find the solution all the time. Sometimes I want my man to handle it, okay? I'm not saying that men should handle everything, obviously not. I think that's something that you discuss when you're in a relationship or when you're dating someone, but it is so nice to be able to let someone else take the reins for a bit when you have been in your masculine energy for so long. The last thing that I'm going to touch on in this video today is kind of my advice for dating in 2023, and this is kind of more tailored to women because I am a woman, so this is my experience. But my first tip would be to not lower your standards. And this kind of goes for everybody, but honestly, just being true to your standards and knowing what you want in a relationship and being able to identify that if you are on dates or meeting new people, being able to identify things that you know you truly don't want in a relationship and not just settling because, I don't know, you're choosing to ignore red flags or maybe you can change this about him. No, have your standards, know what you want, write a list of what you want in your phone, all of these qualities, write a list and stick by them. Do not change them for anybody because there will be someone out there that can fit those qualities, as long as they're not obviously completely outrageous. Again, to piggyback from that point about writing down those qualities that you think are important, I think it's important that you look at that list and try to become that yourself. So if one of your deal breakers is you need to be with someone that is emotionally intelligent and knows how to, I don't know, deal with your feelings, and when you're upset, know how to navigate that, you need to be someone that knows how to navigate those situations also. So if you've got a friend that's upset and has come to you with an issue, you yourself need to be able to listen to them and provide advice where it's wanted and asked for, you know how to deal with people yourself, because you can't expect things from other people that you don't have yourself. You don't hold these qualities yourself. And I think that can go for qualities in someone, and it can also go for, you know, materialistic things. If you're dating someone and you want them to buy you 5 Gucci bags a month, can you yourself? Because if you can't, sis, it's not making sense. It's not making any sense. So that definitely translates to materialism and kind of financial things as well. Something that I am kind of working with at the moment is trying to be celibate or engage in non-sexual intimacy. And what I mean by that is, once you remove kind of sex or things of a sexual nature from a situation or from someone you're dating or your relationship, I feel like it allows you to really get to know someone on a different level, because you're just not thinking about that sexual side whatsoever. Some techniques that I have seen around this non-sexual intimacy is something as simple as holding your partner's hands and looking into their eyes for like 30 seconds and seeing what emotions come up or what feelings come up, you know, things like that. Or laying in the bed but you're not allowed to touch each other, or I don't know, cuddling but it can't progress any further than that. And really just being intentional with that, I feel like it allows you to really see a different side of your relationship when the sex is not involved. And I think that's super important nowadays, because everything is surrounded and influenced by sex. People have become so disposable once they're no longer useful, or once you've bedded someone, it's like, okay, cool, on to the next one. No, I don't want that for us, sweetheart. I don't want that for us. So try it, give it a go, and see if it does kind of reveal any other connections or feelings, and try to explore that. My last tip for you guys is to just move with integrity and intention and a little bit of urgency. And what I mean by this is not to rush. Don't rush into anything. I don't recommend that at all. But we are very much living on borrowed time. So I feel like if you are interested in someone or you really care about someone, I feel like it's so important to express these things while you can, because we do have a limit. And you know, you don't want to go through life feeling a way about someone and not actually telling them or acting on these feelings, because why? We have one life, you should live it to the fullest. And that should include loving to the fullest. Why not? When I mention moving with intention, integrity and purpose, I think something that I have really seen when I was dating is that people will talk and talk and talk via text, WhatsApp, whatever, and they will just be talking and talking and talking and talking, and it's like there's no intention behind this talking. Like, are you gonna ask me out on a date? Are we gonna meet up? Are we gonna see what this is like in real life? Like, move with intention. Ask me questions that make sense. What are your long-term goals? What are 5 morals that are really important to you? What are your deal breakers? Like, you need to be asking questions that are actually useful. Asking me how many siblings I have, what town I grew up in, yeah, cool, it's information that you should maybe know, but I want to know, what's your love language? What do you think is, you know, your biggest fear when it comes to a relationship? What do you think is your biggest barrier to commitment? Just useful questions that are really going to show you, is this person right for you? What are some things that we might need to work on? What are some things that I might need to work on, you know? I think it's so important to get past these superficial questions, and this is something that makes dating very, very daunting, because it's that whole, oh, where did you grow up? Oh, how old were you when you had your first dog? Like, I don't care, bro. Are you trying to marry me or not? Okay. Anyway, you guys, I hope you found this video super helpful and insightful, and I would love to discuss what you guys think in the comments down below, so be sure to leave your opinions. Keep it cute, keep it classy, okay? Thank you again so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support on my last video. Some of you sent some really kind words and stuff, and I really appreciate that. But let me love you and leave you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.